My glasses don't have the right light for those. Happy Saturday night, Sushi Crew! Yay! It's good to see you guys. I'm so excited. I get to start out another program with some good news, and that's always super fun. I hope you all had a good Saturday. It's very cold here in Florida now. Don't laugh. Hold on to your seats. It's 56 degrees, and I have a parka on, dying. Now Renee said we got our fall. We got our winter too. So yay for us. It's just a little unexpected. It dropped I think 25, 30 degrees yesterday. So that was a little crazy. Just a little. Let me see how you guys are doing. God, I remember, it's so weird when I was getting ready for this. I was obviously not full presentation here, but when I was trying to look a little bit presentable, I was thinking about when I used to not go out till 11:30 at night. That's crazy to me now. I can't even imagine. I wonder my older friends or my coworkers thought it was insane. I wouldn't get to a club or a bar until 11:30, 11:45 at night. Anytime before that would not be cool. Can't even imagine doing that now. Half my house is asleep. So it's a little crazy. Hello, Websters. I'm so happy you're here. It's always good to see you. Heather, so good to see you too. Sherry runs late, Twins Mom 2011, my good friend Ping the Router will be joining me whether he likes it or not. Woodbury, Carol Donaldson, hello. Chris Hill, AR, hello. Let's see, I'm scrolling down the line. Moonlight View, hello, my love. Let's see. Polly the Primate, always love saying your name. Scooby, don't. Good girl. Hey, P. Ann. La. Rebread at Pat K. Snow Bunny. I'm seeing some new names. It's 33 degrees in Park City. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I can do 33 degrees. I just can't go from 80 to 56 in 2 hours. It's a little much for me. Just a little much. Hello, 77 MCL. Candy Williams, insightful one. I'm glad the gang's all here. Oh my gosh, sure. It was 30 in Indiana and 52 in Illinois, huh? We don't get the colorful foliage, Twin Mom. We get our palm trees turn brown. And I learned the hard way a couple of years ago. If you try to trim them when they're brown, you kill the whole tree. So that was a fun way to learn that. Hello, Grandma Pamo 76 and my good friend Hobby Cat. Good to see you. Empress Takalata Kaka. All right, so let's get into it. Some pretty cool stuff going on. I haven't even told Ping what it is. So I am going to go. Hey, Tracy L. Good to see you. I'm going to go ahead and add him into the stream, and then we're going to get this rocking and rolling because it's Saturday night. And I'm feeling right over the night. All right, hold on one second. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello. I do not have any cookies, but I do appreciate your presence.
How's it going?
Good. How was your day?
Well, short so far. It's Sunday here, so I had to sleep in.
Oh, that's right. You're in the future.
Yeah.
So it's Sunday and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, 1:30.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're halfway through your day. Do you have school on the weekends?
No, but have homework and things I probably should do later.
Yeah, I hear you. Sundays are always not to add. I hope I'm not look, I'm pushing it over your way. I hope I'm not doing that, but I always get anxiety on Sundays because it's the week is starting. It's all the stuff I have to do before that happens. So I kind of feel bad.
Everything's due on a Monday, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, Monday's the night. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I got a video queued up. I'm going to share it, and then we're going to pretend like we're doing a blind react, okay? You ready for
All right.
this? It's gonna
Hit
be
it, Miss
super
Susie.
fun. All right, hold on one second. Get this going here.
I was getting a lot of allegations. He's a disgrace. He's a murderer.
You're a murderer and a traitor. Good luck in prison, bitch.
There was a week of just sheer chaos.
It was the day after January 6th that Dave's phone started ringing.
I had a call from a friend of mine. He said, "Hey, did you see your face is blowing up all over the social media?"
Cell phone video from the Capitol riot showed a man throwing a fire extinguisher at Capitol Police. And amateur sleuths went to work, digging up another video of the man and posting his face all over social media using the hashtag #ExtinguisherMan.
People on social media had looked at this picture of this gentleman, saw the CFD, and they said, "This guy is Dave Quinnavalli."
Except it wasn't Dave. Viewers mistakenly thought that CFD stood for Chicago Fire Department, where Dave had worked for 32 years. It actually stood for Chester Fire Department. Social media sleuths took the Extinguisher Man video, compared it to old footage of Dave, and accused Dave of being the man in the video. That man later pled not guilty to 5 charges relating to civil disorder and physical violence.
More people piled on and did more searches and started putting my address out there, my phone number. Throw him in jail, throw away the key. And it just escalated to where I was in fear for the safety of my family. Within 2 days of that riot, I was the guy convicted by social media.
Dave's story isn't the first time amateur internet detectives have tried to solve a case, and it won't be the last. TV, film, and social media have turned true crime into its own brand of entertainment. And as shown with the Gabby Petito case, these unsolved mysteries can become a source of fascination for online communities.
Welcome, my darling true crime angels, to Web Sleuths YouTube Live. My name is Trisha Griffith.
Web Sleuths is one of the biggest true crime communities on the internet with up to 6,000 active members. Trisha took over the forum in 2004.
It's different than anything else out there because we are tightly moderated.
She wants to differentiate Web Sleuths from other social media crime fighters, like the ones who went after Dave.
No rumors. You can't have somebody say, "Well, I heard," or "I read." No. And you can't name innocent people as suspects.
But even with the moderation, Trisha says law enforcement hasn't taken Web Sleuths seriously.
I don't have any illusion that we're like law enforcement or that we can do the same as law enforcement. We can't. But we can do things differently. We can make law enforcement's life easier if they would let us.
As a NYPD homicide detective, I've solved over 500 cases.
Alfred was with the NYPD for over 20 years. With cold cases specifically, Alfred did say that fresh eyes can help an investigation, but he doubts a web form's ability to actually solve cases.
I don't think that there is enough credibility there. When it comes to investigations, there is so much training involved that someone sitting at home will never have.
That's not to say the internet and social media can't be used as an investigative tool.
It allows us to get information out to the public quickly. Additionally, we can locate and find out where a person was at a particular place and time and things like that.
So while internet detectives may have identified important clues in the Gabby Petito investigation and even helped the FBI track down some Capitol rioters, it's not a perfect science. And Dave's story shows us what can happen when people get it wrong.
It's a very fine line between us using social media as a tool as opposed to the public putting together their own forums and trying to investigate and solve a case on their own.
His name is Dave Quinnavalli. Here's what he thinks about cops. There was no closure for me and my family. And the people that said these things, they just get to unload whatever comments they want with no ramifications whatsoever. If I knew I was part of something to correct this, that would be as good as it gets for me.
Oh my gosh. We know someone famous.
That was amazing.
It really was. It really was. I'm so proud. And she was featured, Trisha was featured so well. And I'm just beaming right now. And, you know, of course, Lilith and Scrappy got their little mugs on there too. But that was a pretty awesome piece, right?
Yeah, I mean, I said earlier in the chat when it was playing, this is kind of the interview that she always wanted, to explain how it works and how we can benefit and how we're not like social media. I thought it was really good.
It was really good, and it was well produced. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I have. It seems like lately when they're featuring true crime, when they're talking about it in the media, they've really kind of stepped up the way they present it. It used to kind of be like, oh, they do good, but then there was this kind of like backhanded compliment with it, and now, it's just a whole nother thing. So, I like the headband, Amy. Are you channeling Trisha? I've been wearing headbands my whole life. Sorry. But yes, I am. And Trisha's fine. I don't have her headband or her pets or anything. She'll be back soon, I promise. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I thought it was a really good segment. Trisha should be super, super proud. You know, she's so humble, and she probably wouldn't have mentioned it herself. So it is
Yeah, I'm glad we could show that to everyone.
It's my honor and my pleasure, and to have you sitting next to me, Ping, when it was playing, because obviously you've been with Trisha for quite some time, and you're dedicated and all that good stuff. So yay. I'm just looking. I mean, I love the way this community is changing. I love the way that law enforcement is shown some new respect for people that not only like to talk about true crime, but like to speculate and like to dig into things without, you know, going real life, you know, within parameters. And I have to say, I like the way that lately a lot of the creators in our particular community have been working together and supporting each other. I think it's like really, really important, and I think we're making changes. And I think people like Trisha Griffith from Web Sleuths and Gray Hughes and John Lorden and some of these other people are really the what would you call it, like the like groundbreakers. That's not the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for?
I think leaders. That's
Trailblazers.
they're leading that charge.
Yes, they're carrying the torch, and we're following their light. And I couldn't be more happy and more proud. And so congratulations, Trisha Griffith. You earned it. You earned it. You
Good work, boss.
Yeah. Good work, mods, to good work, websleuths.com. You all earned it. This wasn't given to you. This wasn't a fluke. You didn't get lucky. None of that. You earned it. And this is your time. Bask in it. Accept your praise and keep on doing what you're doing and set the example for the rest of us. So, yay. By the way, I wanted to say really quick, you don't see my hands a whole lot, but every once in a while you guys will, I don't know, it's weird to hold it. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll take it off and I'll show you guys. So I have this bracelet that I wear when I do the podcasts and stuff. And, you know, in everyday life, it just says it says justice for Tylee and JJ. And a couple of you had messaged me asking me where I got it. And so I got it from Crusha K. Easton. She was very, very sweet and wrote me a little letter in the mail and included these bracelets. And if you all want one, I think Crusha's in the chat. I think I saw her earlier. I'm not really sure how you would get them, but I know that her Gmail is crusha0123@gmail.com, and you can reach out to her. And they're very inexpensive, but they help the family with their expenses to attend trials and hearings and things like that. So super awesome. They're actually really cute. They're like blue and purple, and they have a heart on them, and they're super cool. So yeah. Oh, Mom's telling me to look at my text. Maybe she's saying, stop it with the bracelets. No, I'm sure she isn't. Oh, okay. So I have a link that I could put in chat for that. Let me do that real quick. And then we will move on.
Yeah, we will share the video for NBC at some point. Someone was asking.
Oh, I can put that in. You want me to put it in the chat right now?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, sure. Hold on one second. Let me take care of that. I could do all the things. Let's see, copy.
We promise Amy is not an octopus.
Well, I kind of am. What I hear. Oh, hold on. I hear a lion. Where is that coming from? Hold on one second. I hit a bad button. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, that was weird. I mean, after the random dog ran up my stairs that night and pushed me across the floor in the rolly chair, I hear a lion, and I really do have to think about it. So sorry, guys. Sorry.
You never know what's going to happen here on Saturday night.
I know. Hey, Crusha, do you want to come up for a few minutes and just talk about the bracelets, or are you cool down in the chat? I see you. I'm saying hi to you. Hello, El Mom, and everybody else that's joined us. And I guess Berserker Loki had seen the video of Trish already, so the word is spreading. Let me see. I'm channeling Trisha. I am. But I'm not single white femaling her, I promise. I'm not going to go out and get two cats that look like hers and a little dog, because I have hers already. Anyway, I'm going to give Crusha a chance to respond if she wants to. And if not, it's okay. We were talking last night about, I'm going to go ahead and put these up. And of course, when I put them up, they're probably going to go over Ping and I's faces. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we'll just take a chance here. We're going to talk about John Pryor's filings that we kind of touched on last night. I did have a chance to look over them today and confer with somebody about them. So I can kind of tell you what I think. I want to know what you guys think. There they are. They're up on the screen. Let me just go back to, I don't think we're really going to read them. I'll go from spot to spot on them. But basically, here's the way it works. Mark Means had filed a motion as well, but this is what Pryor has filed is a motion for discovery. So he wants to know everything that happened from start to finish. Like, who advised Lori, according to the story, who advised Lori to call McConkey's office, Curtin McConkey, how that transpired. He wants any phone records, any messages, anything. He wants to know what Lori said to Robert McConkey when he was on the phone with him. He wants to know what the conversation between McConkey and Rob Wood, the prosecutor, was. If if anybody else was listening in the room, anything like that, and for good reason, because Lori, he doesn't know what Lori said to McConkey, and what Lori may have said about his own client, Chad Daybell. So he's being extremely thorough, asking for all of this information, and he wants it all out in the open. He wants it all unsealed, open hearings whenever he can. I think it's very smart of him to request this. I think Mark Means wrote a piddly, it's piddly word. He wrote a piddly filing, and John Pryor clearly shows his experience as being a criminal defense attorney and filing this. There are a couple things in there I don't completely understand, but for the most part, I think we went over what he was requesting last night. What I want to pose to you guys is kind of I usually don't go here, but it's kind of maybe an ethical question. And so I was having a conversation last night with someone, and if I know I always say this, but they're in the chat, and if they want to own this conversation, then I'll allow them to do so, and we can talk about it. And if they want to remain anonymous, that's fine. But we were kind of talking about these documents, and one of the things in the LDS church, in that religion, is that your your strongest bond, your strongest association, all your loyalty is to the church. That is above your family. That's above your children, above your wife, above your husband, any of those things. Your loyalty is to the church and to Jesus Christ. So when we are talking about a prosecutor, Rob Wood, who is LDS, and we are talking about prosecuting Chad and Lori, who the LDS Church claims has gone against their religious beliefs and wasn't practicing properly as a good standing LDS member. At the end of the day, can we trust a prosecutor in the office who is LDS to do the right thing according to the law, or are they more loyal to their religion? I'm not accusing of him of anything. I'm just putting it out there as a question for discussion. Do you think he's capable of maintaining that? I'm kind of having trouble pulling words tonight. That secular line, where once he steps into the prosecutor's office, he doesn't think I'm LDS. But in reality, being part of that church and part of that religion, he's supposed to put that church and those beliefs first. So
It's a good question.
What do you think? I mean, do you think, for all intents and purposes, I find Rob Wood to be highly, I respect him. I think he's done a good job. I think he's an ethical person. But now we're bringing in the church's law firm. We're bringing in some big guns from that church. And I wonder if that's going to affect how he proceeds. Is he going to proceed according to man's law or the law of the land? Or is he going to proceed with what he's supposed to as a Mormon or an LDS member in good standing?
It's very difficult in this case as well, because it's almost like a conflict of interest.
It is. And red like wine again, yes, they do teach that. And it's interesting because the conversation I had last night was a lot of times when you find like LDS members, not all of them, but a lot of them that have a child that is gay, they will justify abandoning their child, disowning their child because that's against the church, and the church comes before their family. Well, I'm not sure, Kimberly. See, I like that you commented and you said he wouldn't have a job as a prosecutor if he can't separate the law from religion. I don't know. I mean, I think there's what would you call it? Like a stress level. Like this is probably going to be one of the most talked about court cases of the century. Don't you think? I mean, this is just,
It's going to be amazing next year, just how like circus-like it's going to be. But this guy, anything he does in this trial and before that, would it affect his standing in the church at all? I think that's a question you need to ask.
well, yeah. And I'm glad you said that because I didn't include that when I kind of like shot that question out here. Yeah, how will it affect that's the whole thing. Like, how will it affect his standing in the church? What if they disagree with some of the things he does? Do you think there's pressure on him to do what the church wants him to do? And yes, Heather Murray hit the nail on, or whoops, I clicked on the wrong one, but that's okay. Heather Murray, you said either way, it's going to be grounds for appeal, at least in John Pryor's eyes. I agree. And when you look at, I don't know which way to point, whatever, the papers on the screen, the motion for discovery on the screen, I think this is the basis for an argument that there are too many LDS people involved in the handling and the prosecution of this case, both. So what is Hobbycat saying? He's actually a good choice as a prosecutor. He can separate church and state, or he would not be a prosecutor, but he will bring needed knowledge to the prosecution.
That's a good point.
It is. I think I just worry that Kurt McConkie is so powerful, and now this is his religion, their attorneys, it's high profile. I wonder if that clouds the thinking without him even realizing it. Yeah, Sandra, I think they would do anything to get Rob Wood off the case. I agree. Sherry, you said you can think of two things. Oops, I'm clicking on the wrong stuff. I really need my glasses. I need to get a light so that I can wear these without like it looking like this. Okay, let's see. Tamara Av says, I don't know if this is taught in LDS, but in the Bible, God commands you to follow the law of the land as long as it isn't against God's laws. Okay, so my understanding is the Mormon church teaches that too, but at a certain point, you do what's best for the church. So that's the very diluted, generic, I'm not LDS answer. But yeah. And the Weird Mom, are you saying yes, he can separate it?
Amy, do we have any other cases or trials we could look back to that involves this type of stuff? Maybe we could get like a feeling of how this might progress.
We do have other cases. Yeah, we can look at. I need to look and see where the prosecutor stands with these. And the Lafferty case, exactly, the L Mom. And the L Mom is also citing Articles of Faith versus Lying for the Lord. So yeah, that was one of the things speaking about last night. there is this thing in the LDS church where it's considered acceptable to lie if you're lying for the Lord, or you're lying for the benefit of the church and of Jesus. And
That's very broad.
it is, but it's concerning. Okay, so, and I don't have my mind made up totally, you guys. And I'm not like, say whatever you want, because I'm open. I want to hear your opinions.
Just a discussion.
It's just a discussion. It's an intense one though, because it involves religion, and I'm trying to be, as diplomatic as I can. So True Crime Sushi, I do think they have a problem now though, that this call has been made and now the LDS lawyer could be subpoenaed for this motion. It's getting more complicated. Yes, it definitely, I mean, before we had like, spaghetti noodles, and now we got a whole like dish going on.
That's what I was thinking too. When that call got made, it kind of made this really much more muddy than it was before.
Mm-hmm. And then Kimberly says again, I think Rob Wood is more concerned with the victims in this case over the church. He's a good person. I have no doubt that Rob Wood is a good person, and I do believe that he wants justice for the victims in this case. And no doubt in my mind. I don't necessarily worry about, I think I question more of, is he in an unfortunate position because he can be deeply influenced and persuaded by his church, and that could put him in a quandary. Okay, so Weird Mom says, yeah, like he can separate it. So that's good. Yeah, lying for the Lord does sound messed up. I agree. I wasn't aware of that until last night. Happy Cat, you're doing just fine. She says the Al Mama's right on this one. The Catholic Church does the same thing regarding lying.
Really, with the Catholics as well. I didn't know that.
I was raised very, very. I'm free for time served, is what I say. But I was raised very Catholic and went through catechism and confirmation, all that stuff, and through my 20s. I don't remember that, but that's not to say. I also know that I tried to go back to church, to the Catholic Church, in my late 20s in like another state or whatever, and that church was completely different than the one that I grew up in. It was much more like strict, and the doctrine was a little bit different. And I was like, wait, like this is the thing about Catholicism. It's ritualistic. Like it's just the same. Like we literally have a book, and you can pull up the date, and it's like, today we're doing this. Does it matter? 20 years from now on that date, that's the song you're singing.
Sunday you're at church. That's where you're going, and you're going to do this, and this.
Yeah. You sing this song, you read this verses, hello, this is the song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like there's no surprises in Catholicism, like for real. It's just like, except maybe you have a slower moving pastor and you don't kneel and stand, as quickly as like the young ones. But let's see. I'm trying not to pick the same people all the time, but Jess Buggy, I see you. So you can't judge by religion. I understand. It's just that this is a heavy LDS case. And that's why that question is just being presented tonight. I'm not attacking the church. I'm simply asking. And I've had a lot more time to think about it. So I may not be phrasing it as much like a question, and maybe I said it more like a statement. I waver back and forth. I'm still considering things. I'm still, trying to, I don't want to offend anybody. So yeah, that's important. Just Buggy says it's not about your religion, it's about your character. I can.
It's a good point.
It's a very good point. So the Weird Mom was saying, but I was answering yes. Do you think it will be difficult for some of the folks to separate it? And yes, I think some of the folks could be swayed by their bishops, but probably not Rob Wood. Okay, that's good to know. That makes me feel good, feel better. Let's see. That is
It's very alien for me, at least, because we don't really have a city or a state that's so ingrained like that with, LDS faith or even Christian or something like that, where, it's kind of infiltrated everything. So covering this case for me has been really a huge learning curve. And that's why people like the L Mom and, you, Amy, and other people, it's really been good to, listen to them and see what, how they lived it and stuff like that.
Yes, I totally agree. And that's, I say this all the time. Let me drop a link in here real quick. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I remember the first time because I literally stumbled across the L Mom's videos and I was captivated. And I've told her this a million times. It's because, in a past life, I sat there with other people and we tried to figure out Mormon doctrine. We tried to read the Book of Mormon. We tried to find symbolism and some of the things that, there wasn't, a year ago, even a year ago, there wasn't a lot of documents released by the press. And so we're looking at other things and we're looking at, random things we could find on the internet. And like, every time they mention the color red, does that mean something? And trying to decipher all this stuff. And so when I saw the L Mom, I saw Jen, I was like, this is the missing piece to the puzzle. We need somebody that can say, I grew up in this religion. I understand this religion. I can answer some of these things and I can tell you whether or not.
And with a critical mind.
Right. And she's not, just because she's not actively involved in the LDS church does not mean she's criticizing it.
No, no, that's not what I meant. I meant just like, because sometimes when you're still involved, you might sugarcoat things or, gloss over stuff, but she doesn't do that. She tells you everything. And that's what I like about it.
Oh, I don't think Athena, I don't think they're lizards either. She says, Nate Eaton is LDS. He's a great guy. I don't know if anyone else is, but I imagine they're just people, not lizards. Listen, I grew up with LDS friends all the way through high school. They were some of the most amazing people. It's different when they get older and they get married because their friends tend to be more in their community. But yeah, and Hobby Cat, I did see what you said about the upper echelon, about the Vatican, like cardinals and things like that. So that makes sense. But I didn't take offense to the comment anyway, but I just found it interesting. So yeah. I know that the L Mom said somewhere in here that where they're moving the trial, this shouldn't be a big deal, but like in Rexburg, the whole LDS influence is like heavy. So I don't know, we'll see. But it is definitely what are you talking about? We don't get shields, helmets, and swords at baptism. You don't? You don't get a starter kit? Oh, sorry. Sometimes you just have to giggle about this stuff. But I think a lot of what's written in this set of, or this motion for discovery, is he's going to start, meaning Pryor, is going to start questioning the influence of the LDS church, having an LDS prosecutor, what that means. And all in all, he's representing Chad Daybell. And if anything was said about Chad Daybell to the prosecutor, he needs to know. They only contacted one attorney. They contacted Archibald. Archibald does not represent Chad Daybell. He represents Lori Vallow. And so, yeah, I don't think this is a frivolous motion, I guess is what I'm saying. The more I read through it, the more I was like, it's a very thorough. There is some stuff about some classes that he wants to know like what kind of new classes or continuing education or whatever that the prosecution team has participated in. I don't know what that's about unless he already knows something and he's going to, I don't know, use that somehow. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And that should be interesting. But I don't know if we'll see Rob Wood on the stand anytime soon. But let's see. What are you guys talking about? What you talking about?
Amy, do we have a new trial date yet for Lori Vallow?
Well, Lori's case is stayed.
Still for the
yes,
mental health?
For the mental health, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, until she has received, I don't know, competency restoration or competency has been restored.
Yeah, she has to prove she can defend herself, right?
She has to prove that she understands her lawyer.
And instructions and things, yeah.
And that, you know, like she can walk outside and know the sun is shining, basically. The bar is very, very low. Very low. So.
Can you eat this peach cup? Good. We're good to go.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Kathy Wright says, I have so many LDS friends. The church plays a guiding role in their lives, much more than what my very, very Catholic upbringing entailed. As a Catholic, we seldom, if ever, sought priestly advice. I agree. I was in the same boat, Kathy. Let me just check my text here. We can use either. Crush is going to join us real quick. So she's just asking me a question. I'm just texting her back.
She's amazing.
She is amazing. She is. That's what I'm saying. Like this community, this group of people that are starting to come together and work together and making bonds and making connections. They're setting an example for not the entire true crime community because there's a lot of really great people here. It's just that I am starting to see people share across platforms and say, well, you know, if you don't have this, I have this, or if you don't know how to do this, I could show you, or let me promote this for you, or let me, you know, it's just something that's Trisha's spot that we just, you know, that we showed earlier, all of these things, Gray Hughes working with identifiers, all of it is hopefully changing the, you know, true crime community on social media optics, for lack of a better word.
Considering recently there was a bit of a down point for true crime communities, I would say, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So to have all this good news come out now and have that shift, I think it's really, really good.
Yes, I agree. All right. Let me just check in and see if I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Kitty Von Meow. I love saying your name. The issue is that there are so many currently unsanctioned LSD. I know it was a typo. It just threw me off. LDS teaching that younger LDS are not aware of, but some like this cult find it online. Well, I think a lot of it, this is really a question for the Alma, to be honest. It is not for me. But it seems to me that they pulled from some old texts, they bastardized some things, and they were kind of practicing an a la carte version of the LDS religion. And we know that it doesn't work like that. So, yep. And I'm way behind in the chat. Let's see. I see a conversation going on. Heavy Cat says, it's not a frivolous motion, which is shocking for Means, but I really can't see a Brady violation in this. Yeah, I would say, you know, Mark Means' filing was poorly written. Pryor's is the one that is up on the screen, and his is very, very thorough. And I mean, I'm not an attorney, but for the most part, what I see him asking for is not ridiculous or, you know, I agree with everything he's asking for. I mean, if I was his client, I would want to know what Lori Vallow said to that attorney too, you know? And then because then the attorney called the prosecutor and told him about the conversation. Actually, and the how do I say this? In the bigger scheme of things, I had doubted that this conversation even happened until Kurt McConkie came out with a statement saying that, yeah, they took a call from Lori Vallow. It was very vague, their public statement. But I kind of thought in my mind, like maybe Lori just, was manipulating Mark Means, and none of this was true, but something happened. And I think that's how, Pryor is looking at it, like something happened. And so I need to know what that something was. And I need to know in every detail because it involves my client and I'm here to defend him, and that's his job. So, yeah. Moonlight Viewer is saying, it's the institutions presenting God through man's interpretation of ancient texts to gain power and ego flexing that give a negative reflection and consequently flawed beliefs. Was really well stated. That is a good point. I feel like I need to it's recorded. I'll go back and find it, but I want to save that because I like that. I'll always give you credit. Let's see. That's a response to someone else, and I'm lost.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of that type of stuff during the actual trial too.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have to probably go through pages and pages of explanations and this and that and what this means. And
yeah. So, yeah, Kim C., you're right. She only has to be restored enough to understand her circumstances. Yep. The bar is very, very low. It really is like, do you know your name and, how many fingers do you have on this hand? So that's not really, but the bar is low. All right. So I'm waiting for Krusha, but she's not holding me up. She can take all the time in the world. It is okay. Don't rush if you're listening. She says, I'm rushing around. Don't. It's okay.
I always thought it was you had to be able to give and receive instruction to the lawyer was what deemed you competent.
I can tell you, I have it on my phone. Hold on. So, because state of Idaho.
It's probably different in Idaho, yeah.
So let's see. And of course, my bookmark did not work. Hold on. Somebody else has it in chat. Let me know. And I will be forever genuflecting in your presence.
I'm causing Amy more work. Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I bookmark these things on my phone. I have it on my my Mac, but I'm on my desktop right now, so I don't. Let's see. Here we go. I think I have it. Basically, they have to be capable of receiving just impressions of the facts about which they are examined or of relating them accurately. It's very low. They just have to understand what they're being charged with, basically.
Wow, that is very low.
It's extremely low. So that's why, of course, everybody was going to be upset that she was deemed incompetent anyway, right? Because we always are when we have a defendant that all of a sudden can't go to court because, and everybody panics about insanity. And that's not on the table here. So, if Lori Vallow stays in this mental hospital for 25 years and when she's 70 something, and all of a sudden she understands, they'll haul her, patootie into court. That's how it works.
So blue-eyed child is not helping her enough right now.
No. She needs to find another child from a past life, I think. So, oh my goodness. All right. But did I miss another comment here?
That movie, if you guys haven't watched it, I mean, I'm not sure, and I followed this case pretty closely. They've ad-libbed quite a lot in it, but it's worth the hour a watch if you've been following the case.
Oh, the Lifetime movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Hold on one more second here. I got to figure out how to do this. Oh my goodness. Hobbycat writes, the only good thing Chandler has done is release all this stuff. It's now in the public domain and perhaps can be entered into evidence. I don't know, but possibly. I agree with that. And then, let's see. Does anyone remember Dr. McNeil? He was a doctor who murdered his house. Who was murdered. His house was having he was having an affair with some woman named Gypsy, and he was an LDS member. No, but that's going to get added to my list.
Yeah, I don't remember that one either.
Dr. McNeil. Let me just make a note of that. Hold on. Doing 20 things at once. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a moment here.
Are you sure he murdered his house, though?
Come on, be nice. He murdered his house. A woman named Gypsy and LDS. Those are going to be my key search words. LDS. Okay, I just wrote it down. All right. Let's see what else. Krisha is going to pop in just a second. Not murdered his house, but his wife. Where did I get house from? I don't know. It's okay. We knew. Kathy R. says, she's responding to someone else, but she says, I think all religions have taken an a la carte approach, and wrongly so. I think we're responsible to read the Bible and draw our own conclusions. We can seek help. So I love all your comments, and thank you for, being rational and open to discussing. These are not easy things to discuss. And I just love you guys for being able to do so in such a nice way. Oh my gosh. She was a con artist from the start and they met online. Okay. He murdered his house by taking out you guys. Do you see what they're doing, Ping?
Yeah, Ree got it. That's how it happened.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. There's so many good one night we have to just have an open discussion, and maybe we can have like a Google-thon together and watch some of the stuff together or investigate some of the stuff together, because you guys come up with a lot of things that I've never even heard about, and now
that should be our Saturday show.
That could be Google-thon. I'll have to find a better name for it, but yeah, I mean, I think we could all kind of like bind things together, and as long as we're careful, watch little clips together and kind of kind of figure out some of these things. I like this. Because some of these I just haven't heard of at all. So I'm still down here. I'll tell you. Oh, you know what we can talk about while we're waiting? Because you brought it up to me in the email. Did you guys? Oh wait, hold on. Hold up 1 second. PM says, in April 2007, the 8 kids of the McNeil family lost their mother, Michelle McNeil, in what authorities quickly determined to be due to natural causes, just days after she had undergone a facelift. Oh, wait. I remember the facelift part. Okay, let me put that in my notes too. I do. Does the facelift part ring a bell to you, Ping?
Kind of, but it was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so you had emailed me, and I guess so. I'll address it to ask the chat. Have you guys heard about what happened last night at the Travis Scott concert in Houston, Texas at Astroworld? It was absolutely horrible. The crowd started rushing the stage, and it's my, not to make this about me, but I'm pretty open. I don't know. I guess when mass shootings started to be like a thing, which is so sad, I started getting really bad anxiety about going to places where there were a lot of people.
Did you see the update, Amy?
No. Mm-mm.
Apparently, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's a new like drink spiking thing going on where they prick you with a needle and the drugs enter your system and you become like, paralyzed. They're saying that some of the victims in the concert last night were done with that method.
Oh my God.
That's why they couldn't help themselves and they had to issue Narcan to revive them.
I just looked at this story 45 minutes ago. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. That is horrible. So, I don't expect you to be an expert, but this drug, does it make them so that they're aware of what's going on? They just can't react because they're paralyzed?
I think it's fentanyl.
Oh my God. Back when I did my first video, which was the Summer Wells video, after I had the like the lemony snickets or whatever syndrome, where like I had a series of unfortunate events, and so I just didn't get to like move on. It took months before I could do anything else again. Polly the Primate says, yeah, the police said it in the press conference. Okay, that's, oh my God. And Athena's saying that somebody said, what? I heard something about a guy. He said he felt a prick in his neck.
It was a security guard or a responder who was trying to grab someone and then they got pricked.
Oh my God, no. I'm sorry, I'm just shocked. Just Becky says, I've seen a few cops on YouTube that have smelled or handled the substance and they just drop.
I mean, who goes to a nice place, a concert where everyone's having fun, to do this to people? Like, I don't get it. Like,
a psychopath?
Yeah.
No, oh my God. That's horrible. Horrible, horrible. Yes, it is. It's what nightmares are made of.
One of the youngest victims was 10 years old or something like that.
Tamara, they're saying, I have to go back and look, but I trust Ping, and he's saying it's closely, if not fentanyl, like something similar.
Well, they issued Narcan, so it's an opiate of some sort.
Right. Oh my gosh, that is horrible. Okay, so before that happened, what were we? Oh, I know. So yeah, I never went on with like doing other videos, but one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I still do, is I'm constantly or constantly reading articles about how they're cutting all kinds of drugs now with fentanyl, and also counterfeit prescription drugs. So like if you're buying Adderall on the street or Xanax on the street, you don't have a prescription. They're cutting those with fentanyl, and the people that are cutting the drugs don't know how to dose it right. And so you can, be a 15-year-old kid and buy a Xanax and take one and die. It's a huge, huge thing. And apparently fentanyl is cheap. So, oh my God.
Yeah. The fact they can jump on it like a single gram will make like kilos and kilos of, something equivalent to another drug. That's
Right.
why it's sitting around, because it's easier to transport, it's easier to smuggle, but then people are getting a hold of it in the pure form and doing crazy stuff like this.
No, I'm sorry, but the whole thing is horrific. The whole idea of it, yeah, it's really cheap from China and Mexico. But I got to tell you, I mean, I'll just, let's just put all my like craziness out on the table right now, like it's Thanksgiving or like a buffet. I am scared to death of needles. Like, I can barely even talk about them sometimes because
Me too. When I went for my vaccination last weekend, I was like, I'm just going to look the other way while you do it so I don't faint.
yeah,
Because like they drive me crazy.
my husband works in a lab and I can't even go visit him at work. You want to hear something crazy? He works in a lab and I can't go see him at work because there's people, all over the place getting stuff done. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm like, nobody's getting near my veins. And I start getting into my little armadillo mode, like they're going to start running out at me with needles. But so like a concert where people are pricking people, that would be a nightmare of mine. But I do sit around the corner from him in the morgue and wait for him. That doesn't bother me at all. No, I don't know. But that's
could be ED. It could be that, something like that too.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's hard for me to watch the news too, Empress. I get it. I mean, I can't. Oh, you're doing just fine. You're doing just fine on your damn phone. You just keep participating, girl. Yeah, I think Prince died from fentanyl too. Or, at least that's what's been reported. Yep, me too, M. Butler. I'm the worst. I've had people say they'll go with me and they think it's all in my head. And they're like, see, you're fine. They're going to be back in 1 second. They explained everything. And they turn their head and I've slid on the floor and hit my head. And yeah, it's horrible.
I will tell you a embarrassing story. I had to get a blood test done because I wasn't well.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, okay, put out your arm. It won't be bad. And then I passed out when he brought the needle out. And then I woke up and I'm like, is it done? And he's like, I didn't even get near you.
Oh my God. Can I tell you the L mom left me a voice message and she started talking about some lab work. And I'm holding my phone and I'm like listening to it. When she said needle, I just hit erase and I threw my phone and ran and hid on the other side of the house. I hid from my phone. And then I had to text her back and I said, I'm sorry I didn't hear your message. I'm like, I just couldn't listen to it. I'm like, I'm on the floor in fetal position. You got to know something.
Yeah, no, it's not for me.
I am talking about you. Remember when you left me the voice, like some voice message about some lab work you'd done like at some point in your life? And I was like, I couldn't listen to it. I'm like, you have to know something. I'm like deeply scared and I had to delete it. It was horrible. Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah, just buggy. That's what I did with my vax and it worked.
What's that? What did you do?
Oh, I sat down and I faced the opposite direction to the nurse while she did it, and I was fine.
She says it got way worse. Well, I'm glad I quit at the beginning. I'm literally, can you see my body language? I'm like, we're talking about this, and I'm like this. Yeah.
We can move on.
Yeah, please. Please.
So puppies and, unicorns.
Yes. Yep, TikTok is my puppy happy place. All right, so now I got to go read about this Astroworld atrocity because I don't know. I may never go in public again if people are sticking people with needles now. That's just, I'm sorry, that's the F word upped, and I'm really tempted to use the whole room because there's just no other way to describe what that is. Yes, Athena, the blood pressure cuff, that will make me sick to my stomach. Yep. Mm-hmm. Think about Margaret Thatcher on a cold day. I don't even know how to take that. Oh gosh. Oh. Yeah, is it an age thing? I can't fathom going to a crowded concert. I love music. I used to go to concerts all the time. Now I only go to ones where like where they have general admission. Well, I mean, even if you get like better seats or like whatever, I still like the idea of general admission because it means I can walk around and I feel like if I needed to get out or I felt uncomfortable, I could stand there and exit as opposed to being told I need to sit in my seat. But all right. The last thing on the list tonight, because it's gonna be a quickie. I'm a fan of quickies sometimes. You know what I mean?
That was
So
another setup, wasn't it?
yeah. This one's out. Well, it's where I got to tell you too. It's for another reason. My Chris has to go into the hospital tonight. Like not like him, like because he's sick. It's just that with the time change, because tonight is daylight savings time. Fall back. We turn our clocks back an hour, and he's got to be there to make sure that all the equipment and the labs and stuff and don't get messed up. So I still have one child up, and I know it's crazy that she's 12 and she's like loose downstairs by herself, but she had asked if she could stay up to watch the clock not change or like go from like 2 to 1. And
That's so cute.
I know I couldn't say like no, and she may not even make it. So I hear her down there. She's watching TV.
Wait, what time does your clock change over there? At midnight?
At 2 a.m.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does that here too.
Yeah. So like if I think that's one of the things that made me think about getting ready to go out tonight when I was getting ready to go live, because back when I was in my 20s or 30s or whatever, when I was still going out, this time of year was great for going out because the bars closed at 2, but in daylight savings time they were really open till 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a good little hack for one time a year.
Mm-hmm. So we'd be like, yay. And then we're like, but that doesn't count when they go forward because that's just bullshit. Like, yeah.
We're staying till 3.
All right. Well, Krisha's having trouble with her StreamYard. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. She's texting me. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but hold on. Let me just leave her a message. I don't know if you're listening live or not. You've tried to go in through Chrome? Huh. I don't know why it keeps kicking you out. That's terrible. Well, maybe
Do you want me to go and see if she can come in?
We could do that. You want to pop back in?
Yeah, I'll go and then see if she can get in.
Okay. Ping's gonna leave some space for you. Okay? Try again. Okay. Ooh, that was my big head on the screen. Okay. Yeah, you get an extra hour of partying. That's right. Okay, so the last thing on my list. Oh, so anyway, she's downstairs by herself. He's gonna have to leave in like 15 minutes, and if he's not in the house, I want everybody on the same floor and the house all locked up. So I'm kind of getting ready to wrap it up at a reasonable time. But this next story that I have for you, I'm sure many of you have heard of it, but it's out of Sussex, England. The guy's name is David Fuller. He's 67. Here, I'm going to put my pad here so I don't look like I'm just looking like this way because it's all opposite. He's a hospital worker. His primary responsibility was electrical maintenance, and he has been charged for violating over 100 corpses of women and children. He was originally arrested December 3rd of 2020 because his DNA was linked to 2 unsolved murders from 1987. There are 2 women. Their names were Wendy Nell and Caroline Pittree. And so it's interesting because one of the women worked at a photo place that he used, and the other lady worked at like a shoe store. Upon searching, serving a search warrant and searching his house, he had over 4 million images of sexual abuse in his possession. And right now they're in the process of trying to identify these people that he, molested post-mortem. And they've only been able to identify 78 out of 100. So I will go ahead. I'm going to keep an eye out for Kresha. I'm going to go ahead and share this, and as I give you the overview and go through this article really quick, because I think there's a video spot in it that we can watch. Just make sure you guys can see that on the screen. There we go. Yeah, that's a lovely headline, right? Absolutely charming. All right. Man sexually abused nearly 100 corpses, including children, in morgues for 12 years. This is in That's one thing I didn't tell you when I was giving you the highlights. This isn't in one place. This is in multiple places. So he knew how to get around. So let's see. This comes out of Newsweek. Police in East Sussex, England, have accused David Fuller, a 67-year-old hospital worker, of sexually abusing nearly 100 corpses, including women and children, who laid in the morgues of the hospitals where he performed electrical maintenance. Police arrested Fuller December 3rd, 2020, after DNA evidence linked him to unsolved 1987 murders of 2 women, 25-year-old Wendy Nell and 20-year-old Carolyn Pierce. I said her name wrong. Forgive me. Fuller's saliva was found on Nell's bedding, towel, and body. His semen was found on Pierce's tights. When police searched Fuller's home, they found 4 million images of sexual abuse, mostly downloaded from the internet, located on hard drives, floppy disks, DVDs, and memory cards. The Guardian and BBC both reported. 2 of the 3 drives, hidden in a box screwed to the back of a drawer inside a wardrobe, contained images of him abusing corpses in a morgue. Some of the images were arranged in folders bearing the victims' names. Video showed him molesting female bodies, including 3 children, police said. Police said Fuller desecrated 99 corpses between 2008 and November 2020. During that time, Fuller worked at Kent, Sussex, Tunbridge Wells Hospital. So Kent, Sussex, and Tunbridge Wells Hospitals 3. Authorities were only able to identify 78 of the corpses he violated. Sadly, it is likely to be the case that some of the victims will never be identified, Detective Chief Superintendent Paul Fotheringham told the BBC. Investigators said Fuller worked late-night shifts at the hospitals and would visit the morgues after staff had left, also often visiting the same bodies repeatedly. Fuller told police that he used Facebook to find images of his victims while they were still alive after he had initially violated their bodies. It's so disgusting. Fuller pleaded guilty to 51 offenses, including 44 charges related to 78 of the unidentified corpses. He also pleaded guilty to the murders of Nell and Pierce. Fuller was a customer at Supasnaps, the photo development business where Nell worked, and Buster Brown's, I guess it was a restaurant, sorry, the restaurant where Pierce worked at the time of their respective June 1987 and November 1987 deaths. This highly dangerous man has inflicted unimaginable suffering on countless families, and he has only admitted his long-held secrets when confronted with overwhelming evidence, Libby Clark, senior prosecutor with the Crown Protection Service, said, according to The Guardian. I have no doubt he would still be offending to this day had it not been for this painstaking investigation and prosecution. The Kent Police Force had created a $2 million victim support program for the families of relatives that Fuller abused, the BBC reported. The program hired 150 police family liaison officers who underwent specialist training to inform the families and offer ongoing support. England's National Health Service, NHS, has asked all health facilities with mortuary access and post-mortem activities to review their past records and access policies. The NHS seeks to determine whether crimes of similar nature may have occurred and whether the morgues require rule changes to limit morgue access to authorized personnel. I want to apologize to the families of all those who've been the victims of these terrible crimes, said Miles Scott, Chief Executive of the Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust, where some of Fuller's crimes occurred. I am confident that our mortuary today is safe and secure, he continued, but I am determined to see if there are any lessons to be learned or systems to be improved. A sentencing date for Fuller's crimes has not yet been set. I don't know how somebody goes on that long doing those things. It's just mind-boggling. Absolutely. I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to keep talking about me, but I just think even with Chris, he has to have a key card everywhere he goes. Oh, Crush is here. Okay. When she gives me the thumbs up, she's doing her. Are you ready? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I gotta.
It doesn't matter how you got here. It just matters that you made it, right?
It's just, I was about to just you don't know how many Hail Marys I just pulled.
Oh
my God. I'm not great at Johnny on the spot.
Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. We could have just.
No, you did. I
Okay.
don't even know how. It's just weird how it happened. It's I don't know. I just ended up on your live. And then Jason walked out the room and he was tending to my son, Leland. And then, so I paused your live, right? And so I waited on him to come back. So I was 4 minutes behind, and then he watched it. I was like, oh, look, it's Trish on, Web Sleuths. And anyways, so I missed the after that. And then I was like, whoa, what? What's going on?
It's okay. We've been all over the place tonight. We talked about, we talked about Trish's being featured on armchair detectives helping to solve cases and just being recognized in true crime. We talked about this sick MFR who violated corpses. We have talked about Pryor's new motion for discovery, but the reason why I had asked you is because you don't see my hands a lot, but the other night when I was throwing up my hands, I had your bracelet on, and we're twinsies. And I told him that you wrote me. Well, I didn't tell him what you wrote me, but I told him that you sent me this in the mail, and because they wanted to know where I got it. And I'm not really sure how other people can get them if they want them, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to do that.
And that's where I was also. I'm telling you, I do everything by myself, and I mean, of course, Jason. Thank God. I have my fiance because he takes care of the whole things that I'm should be doing, like my life before Lori and Chad.
Right.
And so it's I have just been in this mental state of I can't keep up, but I try. It's part of I don't know, it's the trauma part of it.
Well,
and so I have 6 notebooks right here, but I'm I don't have the link.
Oh, it's okay.
I can sit here and look at phones and stuff, and
That's
but
right.
I mean, I know that I've tried to post the links or whatever. It's a PayPal link. I post them in pretty much all my videos in the description box or whatever, and I'm pretty sure I have it on my about page, but I'm not 100%. Again,
I looked on your about page and maybe I just missed it. You know what?
I would put it there. It's very likely.
I think Jen had sent it to me, so let me see. Yeah, she did. So I'm going to put it in the chat. Do you just want to talk about them real quick so people know,
I do, and I really do appreciate it.
Of course.
It sucks. It sucks. But the bracelets, they came from Janine in Rexburg, and I can't remember her last name to save my life right now. But Janine, she has been just a godsend, just like so many others. Peggy, there's so many other community members of Rexburg that have just, I don't know what we would do without them. I'm working with Megan Music. I know she's got a very catchy name. I'm like, is that your, username, or is your name really Megan Music?
Is it really Megan Music?
It's really Megan Music.
Wow.
I'm like, thinking like Megan Music, but it's Megan. Anyways, and so she and I have been talking, and we are coming up with, she makes all these stickers, and she's just been kind of doing it out of her pocket, and I don't expect people to do that. I mean, time is it doesn't have you can't put a price on my time. And I value, it's you can't get it back. And so that's like an investment, like what you're doing here, what Trish does, what the L Mom does. Everybody that works towards, getting justice, towards the research behind all this. It's not just mine. It's out. It's like, I don't know where to pull from. I just pull from everywhere. I literally, I'm kind of like, okay, well, do I have to start saying where I got this source from? Because I don't know. I picked it up. It's just in there. It's in my phone. So I'm in a constant state of panic, pretty much. The bracelets, they come from Rexburg, and it took a while, but I finally got them, a big package of them. And so I'm about to order some more, but those were donated by the Doomsday Facebook group, Leanne Hicks, and Janine. So I know that's where they came from. And so now I've got to order some. It takes money to make money, and I can't do this by myself. I'm come to that conclusion. I like to think that I can, but no, because it will physically make you ill.
Yeah. Well, I think you need to be kind to yourself. If you experience all kinds of trauma and it's continuing to come out and being re-triggered every time something comes out in the news, I think you've made some very good connections in this community. Yeah. And I could tell you there's a lot of people that are here to support you, and you let us know how we can help, and we're there. Okay.
And I know that. I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I just don't know. Without this community, I don't know how I would hold it together as much as this is held together. I look like a hot mess express right now, and
that's okay. That's okay. That's what
you are. I hate feeling so awkward because I'm not. This is not me one-on-one. Me one-on-one. I can make complete sentences. I can make sense, but it seems like when I
don't have
this, it's.
I can't even. I can't even imagine, and I can't make complete sentences. So please.
No, you do good. You're very good at it.
No.
I just have to remind myself that I'm not in a hurry, and I have felt like I'm in a hurry.
I understand that too. There's a couple of people that are asking who's on the screen, and so I'm just going to do a quick introduction, and then you jump in if you want to correct me, because you have your own identity separate from this.
I'm actually using Jason's phone, so.
Okay. All right. Cool. So everybody, this is, and I should have announced her. That's my bad. Poor hostess. Sorry. This is Cresha K. Easton. She is the niece of Charles Vallow, and Charles Vallow was murdered by Alex Cox's brother,
Allegedly.
brother of Lori Vallow Daybell. So she,
Lori was my aunt,
yes,
so she opted out.
right. So she's obviously family, very couldn't be much closer to the case. Tylee and JJ, depending on how you look at it, I mean, they were either your
he's my biological nephew.
right.
He was born to my brother.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, our mom is Kay.
Right.
Kay Woodcock. Everybody should, anybody that knows anything about the case knows of Kay Woodcock and Larry Woodcock. Those are my parents. And so our uncle, Charles, and Lori adopted JJ. So that's where I've had to explain this this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been behind the scenes,
Right.
but that doesn't mean that I'm not, working. I've lost. I haven't lost. She's stolen, if I look at it that way. I try to not fall into that victim role.
Right.
Because Tylee, JJ, Tammy, Joe, Charles, they are the victims.
Mm-hmm.
I had to look it up and figure out what to call myself. Like, what the hell? Who am I? How do I address myself? And co-victim was something I found, because it has impacted my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what life was like before. And I'm just trying to be the voice that okay, let me back up. When I look at my Uncle Charles, when I look at the body cam videos, and he was trying to describe Lori's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that term loosely.
Yeah.
He blows very loosely. And I see, there's so much where I just connect with him, and I'm just like, oh my God, because I've caught myself doing it before here when I try to explain, have you heard about the Doomsday Mom? Da 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 da, and people are looking at me like, no. And I'm like, oh God. And so people think you're crazy when you're trying to describe somebody else. Somebody else is crazy. It's weird.
It's not the easiest case to describe either.
No, it's not.
It's, I learned it from like when your mother started hammering away at the police, like do the wellness check, do this. I found an address, all of that stuff, and building upon it with like information like this. I can't even imagine just like for people to come in like this morning and try to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't. It's like you don't even want to infect them with that. You're like, oh no, just keep your little virgin years over there and just be normal and stuff. And like I want to protect.
Right. But we all need to care about this case, and we all need.
I know you do.
So
that's the only thing that's carried me through. I'm telling you, in the beginning, I was like, how in the hell do you do this in the public eye? And then I was like, in the same breath, I'm like, how do people do this not with this? I consider all of you guys God's army to me, because that's where I look back and I see all of y'all backing me and my family and just trying to help find answers. We all want to know why. We're not ever going to get that from Lori. Even if so, I knew the time I saw her in court that when she was wearing her lipstick and just laughing, and my parents were sitting there, and I just knew at that moment I was like, nope, I'm not going to depend on her. Anything she says will just be fake, a lie. It just means nothing to me. That person died. So I don't depend on her for that. And so I've had to go and seek myself for myself.
Your own peace and your own,
Which is good. It's good because I've gotten it from so many different people, so many different sources. I have consumed all this. And so I've formed my own, not just somebody telling me, not talking at me and telling me, okay, well, the faith goes like this, because I knew nothing. I didn't even know Lori was Mormon. Okay.
Right.
That's how much of this, I'm just like, what? And it was irrelevant. However, it became relevant.
Yeah.
And it's the most difficult effing position to ever be placed in, because it's like, no matter which way I go, and I'm compassionate, I'm understanding, I'm not judgmental. I'm just trying to understand. That's why I named it difficult research, because it is difficult. There's nothing easy about it.
And it's a great name. That's a great name. It really is. It's like
it's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't want to put you on the spot too long. I'm gonna ask you. Let's see. You have a live coming up tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
And
it's gonna be it's just, I didn't even talk to Jen about it yet, so she don't even know.
I read the description. It sounds super fun.
It's the segment that used to come on Kid Craddock in the morning. I don't know if it was a morning show, talk show or whatever. Not a talk show, but it was Kid Craddock in the morning. It was a morning segment. And they play all over in different cities all over the United States. Well, Kid Craddock died back in 2016. But I remember the segment that they would do, and they would play the Gnarls Barkley song. Does that make me crazy?
Yeah.
And so I would laugh. So hard at the stuff that people would call in, and they'd be like, oh, and just describe something, and they'd be like, does that make me crazy? And so I just kind of want to change it up, because it's so dark. Everything has just been so dark. I've got to I just want to lighten it up and just kind of get to know everybody a little more, just have a little more one-on-one, get to know
laughter's good therapy too.
Yeah.
I mean, so what time is it? Because I'm about to post it in my chat so that people can.
I appreciate it. It's going with the time change and everything. It's going to be 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
Okay.
So that would be 7 Mountain, and then I guess go on from there.
But don't ask me to do any more math.
I know. I'm like,
Okay.
It's like, I have a wealth of knowledge in here. It's just, oh my God.
Oh no, I hear you. Oh, well, listen, I don't know if I'm gonna somehow maybe I'll print this out and cut out little slips of paper and mail them to you, and you can pick them out of an envelope when you're having a bad day or something. But there are so many nice supportive comments here, and I can tell you they're all sincere. So
I love it. That's where they live. That is. I'm sorry for cutting.
No, you're fine.
But that's where they live. Like, that's where I feel them. That's where I feel Charles and JJ and Tylee and Tammy and Joe. They live on. That's their legacies. Is right here. It's. I love that. So that's very sweet, and I thank you. And everyone here that has been so supportive and understanding. It's not easy. And I mean, I get my share of, people pushing back. I try not to offend anybody, but it's like, you have to get comfortable talking about uncomfortable things. I don't know how else to put it.
It's true. It's true.
So
And I can't
wanna
even
make a
imagine.
change. I want to make a change through all the things that failed them. All the things that failed them. Although I know now that it was God's plan. And who am I to question that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. So, but we can make as much sense of it. We can try to write and make changes so that this doesn't happen again here. Just these safety nets.
Right.
And all in their names. And that's what I'm trying to create. Foundations in their names. And I'm doing this on my own. I don't have any background in this. I'm learning as I go, learning how to use YouTube. I mean, I'm learning how to use all these tools and still trying to research and keep up and then feel and process. And that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. But just keep talking. Just keep doing what you're doing. And on the days when you can't do it, you don't do it because you got to take care of yourself because you're no good to anybody else if you're not good yourself, right? And
right.
You know what? There's gonna be somebody listening. I promise you, because it's happened to me. At some point, somebody's gonna listen and somebody's gonna take action. They're gonna say, "I know exactly how to do that," and I'm gonna call. They're gonna call you up, and it'll be divine intervention, and you're just laying the groundwork for that. So thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing with us tonight. I didn't mean to make you so emotional. Sorry.
I mean, I'm honored. This is something that, woo, but I'm just like, whoa. And then I forget everything. I'm like, how do I get to that? And oh my God. It's just so much crammed in my cranium.
I know.
So tomorrow is going to be does that make me crazy? And so, yeah. Possibly.
I'll be there because I have I could throw it out like toilet paper on Halloween. That's my list.
Have you ever been to Dick's Last Resort? I went there one time in San Antonio. That was the coolest restaurant ever.
Yeah.
They do that while you're eating.
I used to, when I lived in San Antonio, I lived on the Riverwalk. So I was what they call a river rat. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I remember when people came to visit, we always went there, and I'd always have to explain they insult you, you know that, right? And they're
perfect place for me, us, the Elmont. So it's so our vibe. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I appreciate it, and look, I don't quite know how to do it, but I know that I can figure it out. I'm just gonna wing it anyways.
It'll be good. I'm excited for tomorrow night. So
I'm gonna try and put it where people can come on.
I'll actually well, let me figure out something, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna say because my head is all dicey right now. But of course, I need them to Dick's too. So yeah, everybody's looking forward to your live tomorrow. So I'll see you there. Okay. Well, I'll be there with bells on, and we'll have fun.
All right. Exactly.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
You know what, you guys? I think what I might do is let's just all go over to Crush's tomorrow night. I'll put it up in my community post, and we'll go over there and we'll have fun. We've been starting out our lives on good news. That's positive. There's positive things happening in the true crime world. There's Trisha's story. There's Greg Hughes' story. There's reasons to celebrate. And maybe tomorrow we just don't talk about the dark stuff. I understand we came together because we like true crime, but maybe we can celebrate, take a night off together, and we can do it over at our friend's house. So let me drop that link one more time. It's but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go live tomorrow night, and instead I'm gonna go hang out at my friend Krish's house. I'm gonna go hang out with them and have some fun and play That Makes Me Crazy. And that sounds like a good deal and a great way to end the weekend. So yay. Congratulations, Trisha. Once again, you earned this. Don't forget it. It's not luck. It's not happenstance. It's your blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve every compliment you receive and every congratulatory message that you get. And it's your job to accept it. and that's an order from me because you've taught me that. So don't make me smack your, snap your bra. If you start doing that, I'll get angry because practice what you preach, sister. All right. I think that's it. It is a great community. Thank you all for joining me tonight. If anybody's new here, yay, it's a date. We're all going to be there tomorrow night. Woo-hoo. Post that link one more time. I'll put it down in the chat and I'll put it in my, I'll put it in the description and I'll put it in the community tab too. So I'm sorry, there's like somebody must be talking about me because my nose is itching. Do you guys ever hear that saying? On that note, if you haven't subscribed, hit that little red box down there. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a live. If you don't mind giving the video a thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't care. Comment in the, I mean, I care, but comment in the comment section below. I like to discuss things with you. I'm a little bit behind tonight because I was like gone all day, but I'm going to play catch up tomorrow. And I plan on seeing all of you on Difficult Research tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like a good time. I think we all need to we're all bonded by true crime, but let's do something different. Let's do something different with the people we hang out with on a regular basis. And one of the best ways we can help other people is by supporting them. So I hope I see you there. On that note, you know how this goes, folks. I will see you on the flip side. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Sushi Crew. Thank you, Ping. Thank you, moderators. I love you all. XOXO. Not Gossip Girl. Sushi Girl. Miss Sushi if you're nasty. Bye.